Just Connect TV, streaming live. Just Connect TV is your entertainment and educational channel. We broadcast authentic content that will inspire, empower, and stir up the potential and positive energy in you. Just Connect TV, streaming live. Get yourself a high-quality branded hoodie, t-shirt, caps, umbrellas, you name it, we got it. You order, we deliver. Just Connect. Ever felt the need to learn how to play a musical instrument or improve your music skill and never knew where to go? Just Connect School of Music is the place to be. We offer professional training in music sight reading, piano, drums, guitar, saxophone, bass guitar, and vocal training. We are located at Eprin Square, 3rd floor, room 26, opposite Buruburu Police Station. Just Connect, building worship. Just Connect TV, streaming live.
Welcome our viewers to a Marriage Bliss show where we enrich marriages together. Today we are going to be talking about communication. What is communication? I am sure all of us in one way or another we have heard about communication. But why is it different? Why is the definition a bit weighty when you come to the area of marriage? It's because communication here we are entirely talking about two people communicating. And what is this communicating we are talking about? It is two people where we have someone who is talking and the other one who is listening. And we shall be learning, how do we communicate with each other? Do we just talk to one another, or are we talking with each other? Are we listening? And how are we supposed to be listening? So that is all you are going to be discussing today. You are most welcome, and we really appreciate your feedback. Keep giving us your feedback. Let's enrich each other, and the Lord is going to help us. So welcome. I am Irene Muigai, and
I am Steve Muigai.
And we are here today. By the help of God, we are going to help one another on how to communicate to keep enriching our marriages. So, Pastor, maybe you can tell us, why is communication important in our marriages?
Well, communication is very important in marriage, because everything in marriage revolves around communication.
Yes.
Because it is through communication that we are able to express how we feel about each other. It is through communication that we are able to let the other partner get to know what you'd want.
Yes.
It is through communication that we are able to express our needs to one another. And so it is a very key area. We cannot excel in the area of finance without communication.
Yes.
We cannot excel in the area of finances. We cannot excel in the area of sex and intimacy without excelling in the area of communication. Yes. And so you realize everything in the marriage setup revolves around communication. And so it's all about how best you are able to communicate. Because when you're not able to express how you feel about the other person, maybe probably you feel your partner needs to change in a particular area. And you are not able to express or even to communicate.
Yes.
And so that one escalates, and it brings even more problems. And so we need to excel in the area of communication. And so communication is a very key area in marriage.
Yeah, and it's amazing when you talk about you will be able to learn your partner, you'll be able to express. And I've just thought of this. It is through communication that we started the marriage.
Yeah.
Because it's when you spot your spouse and you want to approach them, because you can admire them for as many years.
Yeah.
But without telling them what you are feeling about them, and you want them to make life with you, you know, so communication is the basis.
Yeah,
it's the
sure.
foundation, actually, because when I had those feelings about you, and I spotted you and you spotted me, then communication had to take place, so that we can now start the journey.
Yeah.
So it is important that we maintain the communication in our marriages.
Yeah.
Because when there is a breakup of communication, it signifies there is lack of interest. Because no communication, we are not going to express how are we feeling.
Yeah.
Then your spouse will not be able to understand what is making you happy, what is not making you happy.
Sure.
Are you feeling low? You need someone to encourage you. And so when there is that breakup, in a heavy way, it shows us that there is no interest anymore.
Yeah.
Because I will not live with you in the same house and I'm not communicating.
Yeah.
Then it tells me there's somewhere else I'm able to download my feelings, my heavy weight, you know, and the burdens and the challenges I'm going through. Such that when I come in the house, then I have nothing to communicate with my spouse. And that one leads to many other dangers. So maybe you can help us understand what is the importance of communication in marriage? Why should we communicate?
Yeah.
I mean, we are in the same house. I can see you, you can see me. Why do I have to communicate to you?
Yeah.
Why can't you tell that I need this and that?
Yeah, as I respond to that point,
Yes.
I want to come to our Kenyan context, and we try to look at what is happening, because you realize many people are running into depression.
Yes.
And depression is a sickness. It's actually a disease whereby, and it graduates.
Yes.
Maybe someone is going through some stress, and the stress graduates to depression. Why? This person was not able maybe probably to express, or the person was trying to express, but the other person was not able to pick the signs. And it is leading to many people running into depression. And out of the depression, some people commit suicide. Other people kill their family members immediately, like spouses,
Yes.
killing their children because they were not able to communicate at some point. Or when they were trying to communicate, someone was not able to pick the signs or what was being communicated.
Yes.
And so we need to learn why it is important to do the communication. And one of the baseline that we talk whenever we talk about communication in marriage,
Yes.
we say you communicate. Whenever you are communicating, you listen so that you can understand, not so that you can be able to respond.
You're right.
You get, because that is where most people go wrong, because you are listening to to your partner or your spouse, so that now you may know or you'll package yourself on how you are going to respond.
Yes.
But you are supposed to listen so that you may get to understand your spouse.
You're right.
Why is your spouse doing this? Maybe probably you're asking, I want to understand why you did this.
Yes.
Listen so that you may understand your spouse.
You're right.
Don't listen so that you may respond and counteract what he said
Yes.
or she said. And so that is very important point when you are talking about communication.
Yes.
And so communication is very, very important. It is through communication that we express our needs.
Yes.
It is through communication that we express our feelings. Yeah, you might be feeling bad about a friendship, maybe your spouse is having,
Yeah.
or a relationship at work. And so it is through the communication that you are able to tell the person, I don't like what is happening. I don't like this kind of a friend. I don't like the way you are going. It is through communication that you are able to express anything that comes in marriage.
Yes.
Even in terms of finances, I don't like the way you are spending money.
Yes.
Because it is through communication that you are able to help each other even to grow. Because once you grow in the area of communication, even your marriage will also grow. Because you help each other even to grow finances, because even financially, through helping each other. Maybe probably that kind of a person who just whenever you get money and you just spend in buying this and that, and all of a sudden you realize that you don't have money. But how do you help that friend, your spouse, who has a problem with how they spend money? It is through communication.
You are right. And I'm trying to think. When we are talking about communication, there are things that surrounds communication so that it is effective. Because yes, it's true, I can be communicating with you as my spouse, but that communication is not effective. We are not looking at the quality. So how do we ensure that we are communicating and we are really helping each other? We have quality communication happening between us so that our marriage can keep thriving. So some of things that we need to consider is the tone. What kind of tone do I use when I want to communicate to my spouse? And especially when you're talking about communicating where we need to correct a challenge, where we need to settle a matter that is negative in our marriage.
Yeah.
That is usually very sensitive because usually many other times when you are communicating about something nice, when marriage is all blissful, then we really don't struggle because we'll be happy, we are chatting, you know, we are exchanging love, we are practicing the love languages. But then the challenge comes in our marriages when we are settling something that is a challenge, and that is where we are becoming now defeated, and we get to depression like you were saying earlier. You find that spouses are draining into depression because they are not able to communicate. They are not able to help each other.
Yeah.
Maybe the problem is within or without.
Yeah.
It could be a challenge they are facing between themselves, or maybe the challenge is coming from outside. And especially when it's coming from within, it escalates very fast because you feel bad about your spouse, you feel drained, you feel discouraged, you start giving up, and that one leads to another step. You now try to source help from outside, and that is where we'll find spouses going out to depression. Through drugs, they are cheating on their spouses, they are engaging in illicit alcohol drinking, you know, those negative vices. But that person is looking for an answer. And they left the answer right at home with their spouses.
Maybe they were not able to express, or when they tried to express, they were not listened to.
Yes, or they would be saying it in the wrong way. And that is where we are bringing in the tone. When I'm speaking to my spouse, I need to consider, am I respectful? Because tone is guided by respect. Tone is guided by love.
Wow.
Because if I respect you, and I know that I'm supposed to submit because you are the head, and I would love the ladies to listen here, because no, at any time, the men or our husbands shall be below us. They are always the head, and that is mandated by God. And so we need to submit. Even when I want to correct him, how do I come in? How is my tone? Is it expressing respect? And vice versa. When you want to correct me as my husband, because respect is two-way. Are you correcting me with love? Because actually Christ demands of you to love me as Christ loved the church. So this person that you love, what tone are you going to use? And when we are talking about tone, we are talking about managing anger, the anger issue. Because most likely when you are angry, you are going to shout. It is automatic. It is naturally that way. So do I again have the fruit of the Holy Spirit about self-control? Am I able to control my anger? Am I going to be in charge? So that when I'm expressing what I'm feeling, that negative feeling about my spouse, something I want us to talk about to correct a bad vice that is happening within our marriage, I need first to be guided by the Holy Spirit to have self-control. Always tell God, help me. Before I settle this issue with my spouse, God help me. Give me the fruit of the Holy Spirit. Help me to have self-control so that when I'm talking, I am going to use the right tone. Because when you use the respectful tone, I'm not going to shout at you.
And that one reminds me of instances where we could have arguments.
Yes.
And you realize that when you are trying to sort out an issue and you are angry,
Yes.
one of the things that is likely to happen, you are able to pour out words that are going to hurt the other person.
You're
so
right.
that even after you have resolved the issue, there are words that you cannot take back.
You're true.
And so it is important whenever you are angry, please, if you know that you are angry, don't try to solve that issue. You'd rather even hold on, cool down, because when you are trying to sort out something and you are very angry, one of the things that is likely to happen, you are going to do some things. We have heard of people reacting.
Yes.
In fact, Christians in the house of God, and you hear that Ali slapped the wife.
Yes.
Or the wife, the vice versa.
Yes.
Or the wife reacted and smashed the items in the house. And so when you are angry, tell God to help you. Because anger brings every other bad thing in the house.
Yes.
When you see people reacting and burning the houses, we have heard of people burning their own spouses in the house, it is out of anger.
Yes.
And so whenever you are trying to sort out something, tell God to help you to cool down. And that one will help you to bring that point that you're talking about, the tone. Because, of course, when you raise your voice, and the other person is also forced to raise his or her own voice, definitely you'll be like a shouting match in the house.
Yes.
And eventually you find that you're not communicating. And so the tone is very, very important.
Yes.
The other important thing is also maintaining eye contact.
Yes.
You know, and you know what? When you are maintaining an eye contact, you are able to pick a lot of things.
Exactly.
You are able to pick the said things and unsaid. You know, those words and things that are not said when you are maintaining the eye contact. But mostly in our modern days, when you have the gadgets with us, we have the iPad, we have the laptops in the house, we have our phones. Most of the time you find you are able to, you are communicating, you are telling me something, but I'm busy on WhatsApp trying to respond to someone. I'm very busy here watching a video. And eventually you find maybe the wife was trying to express vile amekuwa disappointed the whole day, or the things that she or he went through in the course of the day. And here you are not picking those things, the said and unsaid things.
Yes, and in communication, the most important details I should pick from my spouse is actually the unspoken. Because the spoken, I can hear, but then I need to maintain the eye contact. When you maintain eye contact, you're able to tell how your spouse is feeling, because you can listen and not necessarily look. But now when we are settling an issue in the family context, you need to listen and watch. I mean, you can see your spouse. That's when we are talking about eye contact. I shall be able to tell when they are expressing how they are feeling about a certain issue or about me. There's a lot I'm going to pick. I can see their frustrations. I can see maybe their hope. We are discussing something about a project. We can also be doing the positive discussions. Are they feeling hopeful or are they feeling defeated? So where do I come in? Do I need to reassure them? Do I need to encourage them? Do I need to apologize?
Wow.
You know, I'll connect. I'll be able to empathize with you when you are sharing your joys and your sorrows with me. But when there is no eye contact, I'm not able to read your physical, your facial expressions, because they go really hand in hand with what is inside. The way I express my feelings, there I show. Sometimes I'm folding the face, you know, I'm feeling the pain. You can see the pain in your spouse, because this is one person that God has connected you with. So you are able to feel their pain and you're able to share their joy.
Wow.
So the eye contact is very important.
So one thing that I want us to conclude, even together with our listeners, is that whenever your spouse is talking to you, do not concentrate on the TVs, do not concentrate on your phones, do not be on the gadgets. Put them down and get to listen.
Exactly.
If probably you are doing some SMSs or responding to something, you can excuse yourself and tell your spouse, please just give me a 1 minute. I finish up something that I was doing here so that I may focus and concentrate with what you're telling me.
You are right.
But when you are not excusing yourself, that is lack of respect. Please mark that one and underline that is lack of respect to your spouse. When your spouse is talking to you and you are there concentrating with the news, the football program that is running on your TV, or you're watching or doing something on your phone, and your spouse is here talking to you, that is lack of respect. If at all you have to do it, please excuse yourself. Tell your spouse, just give me 1 minute. I finish up something that I'm doing here. Just give me 1 minute. I finish up on this news. Then I concentrate wholly on you.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because it's when you express that respect, it goes hand in hand with the love. Because for women we are mandated to respect, and the men are mandated to love us. But it's a way to traffic. If I keep expressing to you and I cannot see the love in you to listen and to sacrifice those other things to create time for me, then I feel disappointed.
Wow.
The same way when you're talking to me and I'm doing other things, I am cooking, I'm changing the baby diapers, I am talking to someone else. As much as women, we can multitask. When it comes to communication, for it to be effective, I have to listen, set everything apart, and concentrate on what my spouse is telling me.
Now, tell
way
us.
you are able to pick a lot.
Good.
Yes.
Tell us about the timings of communication.
Yes.
When should we do this communication?
Yes.
Tell us about the timing.
Now, timing is very important in effective communication. But it doesn't mean that we have timings, you know, like a scheduled program and a timetable on when do we speak, when we don't speak. We are supposed to communicate throughout. Because in marriage we say, communicate about nothing, including everything. I mean, everything, including nothing. Just keep talking, because it helps you to keep in touch with your spouse, and it grows the love. Remember, we talked about the love that grows and glows. We shall be able to tell, is this spouse glowing? If they glow, then there is some growth. And one of the ways to grow is to maintain communication throughout our marriages. So when it comes to timing, it's only considered when we are talking about deep stuff that we need to settle with our spouses. That needs to be timely, because for instance, we want to break some news to our spouse. You need the wisdom of God, and the Bible says, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask from the Lord, who gives it in abundance. So we need wisdom on when to communicate certain heavy issues to our spouses. Is it about our jobs? Maybe you have just lost your job. This is not something you just come and drop on the table when you are taking supper. You will tell God to give you the wisdom on how do I communicate this. Maybe it's a parent who've passed on. When we need to settle heavy issues, and especially maybe we have a conflict, there's a conflict that we have, and there is some disagreements that have happened for a long time, and we are feeling we need to settle this so that we can move on. And one thing I want to encourage our listeners, that and our viewers, it is important and it is okay to have disagreements in marriage, because we are not always going to be flowing in the same direction. So disagreements are allowed in our marriages, but then we have to disagree until we agree. So when we have this thing that we are really disagreeing, when do we bring it on board? We need to settle and think of the appropriate time to discuss this. Maybe we had a conflict of something like finances. I don't need to come up with the same discussion when our kids have just come from school and they have come with receipts, maybe the balance. And I'm like, now see, this is what I was saying about, you are not going to settle that issue yet. So we need the wisdom to cool down, like we were talking when we are angry. Don't settle that issue that time. Allow yourself to cool down, allow yourself to settle, then you revisit the issue, because we can put our conflicts on hold. So that doesn't stop our running, our day-to-day running of our marriage. So when we put it on hold, then we shall agree at a convenient time. And this one has really worked for us. It's through you that God has helped me to learn how to hold. When I was coming to this marriage, I knew it is settling issues, the here and now. Like, it's now. I'm not going to bed without settling this. And I realized as I continue growing in my marriage that it is sometimes it's not necessary. Because when you are not settled in your mind and you have mixed emotions and feelings about the issue we are discussing and about your spouse, you are not going to have any effective communication about it. And so my husband has really helped me to just cool down, to let things settle. And also, if you're in a position, it has really worked when you go out somewhere and have a different environment where you can settle that issue with your spouse. It really works wonders, because I think change of environment helps your mind to relax in a way and to rethink and to relook things. And so the issue may not be as heavy as I thought, and as heavy as I took it when it was really happening. But when I allow myself to cool down and then you change the environment, you realize that it is so easy to settle what has been disturbing you maybe for a long time, or what was very heated. You realize it's not as hot.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that's a very good point. Getting to know the timings on how, and especially how to communicate some issues. Because we have also seen some people trying to resolve conflict, which is also a way of communication, but through the phone. Someone wants just to say, I'm sorry, over the phone. And especially you live in the morning and you are mad at each other, and you go out there and you just want to say, I'm sorry, and it is done. But we encourage people, it is okay to sit down and talk. Get to know why the other person did what they did. Get to understand why they were angry about it. Don't just be that person who puts things under the carpet. Just because you said, I'm sorry and I'm okay, and you just leave it. It is okay to do proper communication. But again, be ready also to listen to the other person, and be ready also to forgive. Because we are not in marriage to do competition. We are not in a competition with one another to see this time I'm the one who won. Next time you are going to see, I must win. There is no competition in marriage. So that is a very, very important point. And the other thing is also, what should we communicate? We need to know what is it that we should communicate. And I love the point that you said about everything and nothing and everything. Maybe you can tell us, what are the things that we need to communicate? And what are the things that we feel? Maybe probably there are some few things that we ought not to communicate.
Now when it comes to marriage, we don't have any areas that we should not communicate, because marriages should be based on honesty, should be based on trust, and when there is honesty and trust, then I am free. I'm supposed to communicate freely, I'm supposed to communicate openly, and I'm supposed to communicate all the time about anything. And we encourage couples, keep communicating, even about the silly things, in quotes, you know, like just make it funny. Just break a joke. That is communication. You'll be able to test, is my spouse in the mood, or are they tired, are they off? And that becomes a basis and a foundation of picking something is not right with them. And so I need to find out what is not right. So when it comes to communication, communicate about everything. And when we talk about everything, mostly in marriage, we are talking about our emotions. What is happening in our inside? Because sometimes you will not be able to pick my inside until I communicate it. Just let your spouse feel with you what is going through your inside. Is it an issue that is disturbing you and it's weighing you down and it's making you feel, you know, like you need some space out, space alone? Let your spouse know about it, because they are the solution right there. If you learn to communicate with them, then they'll also learn your patterns. And I see some spouses struggle when it comes to the very nitty-gritties about marriage issues. Like, I don't like the way they treat my child, the way they are treating our children. I don't like the way he's disciplining the children. I don't like the way my wife behaves when I have visitors. Others are saying, I don't like the way she behaves when my mother is around. So you are going to pick a lot that is happening. Are they having the issue with the mother-in-law? Are they having issues with, you know, anger management? Are they venting out when they are disciplining the children? So communicate about everything. Express your feelings. Because if you are my friend, then I should be very free and open with you. There's nothing to hide. And may the Lord help us, because I keep wondering, what is this of secret that I need to hide from my spouse? And the Lord has given me the mandate to be naked before them. And when we talk about nakedness, it is not just the physical one. It is even from the inside. I should be an open book to my spouse. I should let you read every sentence that is within me, because I'm open to you, and I'm free, and I'm honest, and I trust you. Because when I express my fears, when I express what I've been feeling about a certain issue, about a certain person, about a family member, about a church member, you know, I shall not be having reserves, because I don't know how you are going to react. I'm afraid you may tell them. You know, when there is trust, trust conquers all in our marriages, and so is love. So when I love this person and I truly love them and I trust them, then I'm not going to withhold, because that withholding is now what hampers other things. It's going to create one thing after the other. The more I hold issues, the more I am not able to express. You make me angry, I am not expressing. Now when you make me angry, we go back to the timing, we go back to the tone. I'll combine my respect, I'll combine my love, and then when is the time to express? So that when we are down, when I've cooled down and we are at peace with one another, I'll let you know there's something you do that hurts my feelings. If we did this and that, then I think it shall be good with us. But now the challenge comes when we are going to look at the don'ts when communicating. The blame games, you know, having an attitude, justifying, you know, all those, the defensive moods. But when I am open and free to you and I trust you, then I shall be free to express anything and tell you about everything about you that is not making me happy, or what is making me happy, so that we can be able to move on. And that has really worked for us. It has really helped us. We are not yet there, because we cannot stamp our feet and say, you know what, we have been 10 years in marriage, we are good to go.
Yeah.
We are still having our struggles. We are still work in progress. We are still trusting God for our marriage every day. But we have seen his faithfulness to help us grow, especially in the area of communication. And most of the times, maybe I can share this with our viewers. What I have learned from our marriage is that mostly the way we communicate in our marriages has a lot to do with where we are coming from. How did I see my parents communicate? How was I brought up? How did I understand communication? Because most of the times, what you pick as a child and from your background, most of the times, almost 90%, I'll drain it to my marriage. And from my background, I didn't really understand what communication was. I never saw effective communication happening between my parents. And so what I thought, how I should handle my husband and how I should communicate is throwing tantrums, is being angry at him, it's giving threats, is always being defensive, because I'm coming into my marriage with a set mind. Like I'm ready for a failure, because that is what I know from my background. And I want to encourage our viewers that may the Lord help us not to carry the vices from our background. They happened, we cannot change the past, but we have the resources to determine and to run our marriages forth with the help of God, to create a better future and a different way of communicating from our generation moving forward. So may we not be interfered with our marriages more so because of where we are coming from. We have the mandate to command our marriages to work. Because when you drag those vices, you realize they really affect your current marriage. And you are likely to start failing like where you are coming from. Because it was very hard for me to listen at my husband. I'm like, I know it. I know it. You just want a fight. And so I'm on guard. Any communication, anything you want to correct me, anything you want to tell me, I am settled and I'm ready for a fight. And I came to realize it's not fighting. We are not competing in this marriage. We are completing each other. You have your own gaps. I have my own gaps. We need to merge to make it whole and to block the gaps so that our marriage is not leaking and we build it together. And I'm really grateful that you have really helped me a lot in the area of listening, not to respond. Listening to understand.
Listening to understand.
Yes.
That's a very good point. We truly appreciate you viewers, even for the time that you are spending there, getting to grow. Because what we are doing is trying to enrich our marriage. And before we get out of that point, I want to say, and I want to pick the point of communicate about anything.
Yes.
You know, the fact that you don't have anything to tell your spouse, and you probably you left your house in the morning and you are meeting, you have to wait until in the evening.
Yes.
Even in the course of the day, during lunchtime, you can do a text.
Yes.
Just do a text and tell the person you miss them.
Yes.
That's a way of communication. You know, we say, you know, sex and intimacy. When you're talking about sex, here, maybe probably when you shall be talking about sex and intimacy, you shall tell us and emphasize on that, that sex to a woman starts in the morning. Is that what we say?
You're right.
Yeah, so, and so we can communicate in the morning, we can communicate during the day, during tea time, do a text. Find out how your spouse is doing.
Yeah.
During lunchtime, you can still do a text. When you're leaving office, just do a text to your spouse. Tell them that you're just leaving the office and you miss them.
Yes.
I mean, even when you don't have anything to communicate, you can still communicate.
Sure.
That is a very important area, and it has worked also for us.
Yes.
We must say that it has worked for us, that you can communicate anytime, anything. And that is a very good point. And so we appreciate. We are going to take a small break, and after that we shall be talking about the do's and don'ts in communication. Thank you so much.
Just Connect TV, streaming live.
Doka kuraha mawe komaku mawe komada mayo irone dayo mawe komega matare meaka motorereine wako watene daugane wega wega gai daugane thegio gai daugane wega gai ne maria mothe wanatekera nagera mikuru ya thina ngata muyoko ngoro nĩ inya wene wokire ũkĩethayo na ũkĩnyonia njĩra cia matu-inĩ dauga nĩ wega Ngai dauga nĩ thengio Ngai dauga nĩ wega Ngai nĩ maria mothe wanatekera nĩ kĩngĩ gũthukĩra nakĩo we ũtũmĩte nginya haha nginyĩte Ngai ũgatũma nduĩkanie Mwathani oime kũrũine mĩrikuma ũgatuĩka wa kũhonokia ũgatũma ngerere mwaki-inĩ na ndinunge ndogo niĩ ngũtũra nyũmba-inĩ yaku ngũthathayagia ngĩcokagia ngatho nĩ wagĩrĩire gũtirĩ tawe El Shaddai nĩ ndagũthiĩ
Just Connect TV is your entertainment and educational channel. We broadcast authentic content that will inspire, empower, and stir up the potential and positive energy in you. Just Connect TV, streaming live. Get yourself a high-quality branded hoodie, t-shirt, caps, umbrellas, you name it, we got it. You order, we deliver. Just Connect. Ever felt the need to learn how to play a musical instrument or improve your music skill and never knew where to go? Just Connect School of Music is the place to be. We offer professional training in music sight reading, piano, drums, guitar, saxophone, bass guitar, and vocal training. We are located at Eprin Square, 3rd floor, room 26, opposite Buruburu Police Station. Just Connect, building worship. Just Connect TV, streaming live.
Welcome back, viewers. Welcome to Marriage Bliss. This is where we enrich our marriages. Today we are talking about communication in marriage and how we can have it effectively in our marriage. And at this point, I want us to look at the do's and don'ts in communication, so that we can have effective communication.
Yes.
Which are some of the things that we ought not to have when we are doing communication, and which are the areas, and which are some of the things that we need to emphasize when we are doing our communication.
You're right. Maybe we can start with the do's. It is very basic, and we have already mentioned them as we have continued talking about this topic, about maintaining effective communication in our marriages.
Yeah.
The number one thing that should always be in our hearts and our minds and our soul when we are communicating is first of all being guided to know that this is the person that loves me and this is the person I love. So that when I'm settling issues with them, when I'm ready to communicate, when I'm breaking a joke, when I'm communicating serious stuff, when we are having some good time, this is someone who loves me and this is the person I love.
Wow.
So when love will be the foundation of understanding who I'm talking to, then the others will fall in place. If I love this person, I'm not going to hurt them with saying some words. So that one tells me that I'll have to practice self-control. Always practice self-control. Because for example, we've gone out somewhere and I realized something that is not right with me. I'm not going to scold you in front of people. That is disrespectful. I'm not going to correct you in public. And when you say you appraise in public, but you correct in private, that should always be the case.
Even
in
when
marriages.
you're so angry.
Yes. Why should I not practice self-control? Even I'm feeling like I want to smash you and, you know, I just practice self-control because it's a gift that I'm given by the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Otherwise, if it is by myself, we'll be fighting everywhere. Couples will be fighting on the car, on the road, at workplace, in church, everywhere.
That reminds me of an incident that happened at some point. We were out somewhere and someone did something that was not very nice, and especially before the eyes of the wife. Amwambia wewe wacha ujinga, sasa hii ni nini unafanya mbele ya watu? Unataka kuniaibisha mbele ya watu, and you wonder, do you have to shout to your husband and use some nasty word? You know, to me I found it, wacha ujinga, unafanya nini mbele ya watu? And you know, that is
lack of self-control. Because when you have this gift, this fruit about self-control, the Holy Spirit guides you when and how to do things, and it is very sweet. I encourage our viewers to depend on the Holy Spirit. Marriage is spiritual. Marriage is all about God. Without God, we cannot run our marriages. Without God, we are going to mess up. So depend on God. Every day, every moment of your marriage, always ask for wisdom from God. Tell God how you're feeling about your spouse. He's the Father. Report him. Report her. Tell God how you're feeling about your wife. Report them to the Maker, because He has the mandate, He has the ability to conform them to His likeness. But when you keep fighting on your own, there is a lot of struggling. But when we involve God to be the center of our marriages, in every aspect, in communication, in love, in dealing with third parties, in guarding our boundaries, everything, the center of our marriages should be God. And so I was talking about love. Love helps me to respect you. When there is respect, it will guide me to the tone I'm supposed to use when communicating to my spouse. Then the tone will help me not to be angry, because I first of all allowed myself to cool down, and then I'll settle what the issue is between us. Then it also helps me to know the timing. When shall I speak what? When will I communicate what to my spouse? Because different issues should be handled at different levels in our marriage, and they have different weights. There are things that you need to wait. There are things that you need not to wait. But as much as possible, we encourage our viewers, try to settle matters as soon as possible, because they will keep coming. They will keep coming. Definitely they will keep coming. Do not sweep
them
under the carpet. Don't take too long to settle an issue as if you have the whole years to just deal with one problem. Challenges come running. The moment you graduate how to settle this, another one comes. You keep graduating, you keep growing, you keep growing. But the moment you dilda a lot, you know, going in circles and routes about an issue, you are not able to settle. When you come to settle, you come with the wrong attitudes, and now that one takes us to the don'ts. Now, when we are talking about communication don'ts, one thing that we should never come to when we want to communicate to a spouse is a set mind. Set mind.
Coming with already the prejudgment of an issue.
If we are settling something, I already know. And they say, nilijua tu atasema, nilijua tu utafanya. ulijua aje? You see? How did you know what I'm going to say? That tells me that my mind is not trusting you. And that one blocks me from listening to understand. I'll just be listening to respond because I know I am already guard on how I'm going to fight back because I have a prejudged mindset. I already know what you want to say. And actually it's presumptions because I really don't. But I have this bad attitude towards how we settle issues, maybe because we do them the wrong way, or they bring out a bad outcome. Maybe we needed to settle something, I needed to communicate to you, maybe I feel like I need a business, I want to ask for your support, or I want to share an idea that I have had or I have read about, and I want us to try about a given business, I want us to try a given project. But because you are not going to listen to me, that puts me off. And so by the next time I'm coming to communicate something else, I'll relate it with the past mistake that was done. And so I have a mindset. I know he's not going to listen. I know she's going to react this way. So let's give our spouses the space to be themselves, the space to be understood, the space to express freely. So always come with a blank mind when you're communicating with your spouse. Don't judge them. Don't assume that you know what they are going to do. And if the pattern has been there and you know, then try to discuss about it in a calm way and tell them, you know what, I don't feel well handled. I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel good when we come to talk and you react this way and this way. It would have been better if we do it this way and that way.
And actually that point brings us to the issue of taunting, whereby people drag issues from the past. This is what you did some 5 years ago, and I can relate it. This is exactly the same. Yet those are issues that you are sorted and you forgave and moved on. Or rather you thought that you forgave, but you're still pulling them under the carpet and bringing them. Taunting is not good, and especially whenever you are doing communication. Do not bring issues that happened and you are resolved in the past. And the other thing that you have said, and I like that point, get to understand your spouse. Understand also that your spouse is not an angel. He is a human being. She is a human being. And people can make also mistake. And so be tolerant to your spouse. Allow them to be, and only train them, you know, through communication, that this one I don't like it. Whenever you do this, I don't feel happy. Communicate everything.
It's true.
Tell us about the issue of blame games. Because that is also another area that also destroys our area of communication.
Now when we come with the wrong attitude in marriage, and especially in the area of communicating, this preset mindset, it also connects somehow with someone who has a very defensive character. Because I know what you are going to say. So that is why I didn't create time for us to talk about it. And in a way, it shows some ignorance. It shows some disrespect. It shows that you are not interested with what your spouse is saying. And so you realize what will be born out of this, because one thing brings another in marriage. It's always going in circles. When I have a bad mindset about you, then it is going to take me to blame games. Because I'll be saying the reason why my marriage is fading is because my spouse does not listen to me. And because I'm saying you do not listen to me, it's because I didn't communicate well in the first place, because I had a set mindset that you are not going to listen. So it's all going in rounds. Now, blame game is very dangerous because we do not own up. And it also now takes us to another one where we are coming to compete and not to complete one another. Like the way I have just shared, I always came with a defensive mindset. Like, you know, I have to prove to this guy because he is coming for a fight, I have to fight back. So I am always defensive. That defense now leads to a lot of blame games because I don't want to own to my mistakes. I don't want to be corrected. I assume that you are coming to fight. I assume you want a fight. And maybe if I took time to listen and practice the things that we have said, if I listened to understand and not to respond, I would understand where you are coming from. Why you do things the way you do them. Because we met when we are two mature people. We have our different upbringings, we have different way of viewing things and processing issues in our lives. But now that we are one, we need to merge, we need to practice how to live as one.
Wow.
And communication really helps us to glue together. So what do you like, what I don't like? But blame game is for the spouses who do not want to be corrected, who are always defensive. I am right, it is me, it is you who is wrong. Your spouse is always the one to take the blame. Your spouse is always the one to be told that they are wrong. They are the one always to be told that they are wrong and they did the wrong thing. They could have done this way instead of that way. And there is a lot of blame game going on. You realize when there is that now blame game, the marriage does not thrive. It keeps going down and draining. Because what happens with blame game, when your spouse realizes that you are always blaming them, then they take a safe space. They go back into their cocoon and they shield because they are now afraid. Anytime they want to express, they know they will be hit back with the blame. Anytime they want to express their feelings, their worries, their hope, their feelings, it will be shattered because they are always being hit back.
And finally, there is the issue of jumping into conclusion when you're doing communication, because most of the time when you find people jumping into conclusion, it's when you have already some preset mind, you already have an attitude towards your spouse, and this one kills marriages in the area of communication. And so we want to urge and advise our listeners, it is important to do not jump into conclusion. Give time to your spouse to communicate, to express himself or herself. Do not jump into conclusion. You might be very wrong because probably something happened and your spouse could be very innocent. Your spouse could be very innocent. And so don't jump into conclusion. That is very important. And I want to appreciate you once again, our viewers, for creating time to be together with us at Marriage Bliss. This is where we enrich our marriages. And so communication is a very key area. I don't know whether, Irene, you have a closing remark before we end.
Yeah, I want to encourage our viewers and tell them, are you there and you're feeling like you are so bored about your spouse, there's nothing you can share with your spouse? We want to give you a message of hope at Marriage Bliss, that when the Lord is involved in our marriages shall be manageable. He shall make them sweet because he should be the founder. So I want to encourage someone out there who is giving up on their marriages, who feel like throwing out the tile. There are some who are now concluding on how to separate. Others are signing divorce papers. Don't sign. Before you sign it, think twice. Why are you giving up on your marriage? Why can't you give it another chance? We said that love grows. Love never gives up. Love keeps giving another chance and another chance and another chance. So you just need, maybe it's something you need to communicate about. Pause and think about it. Pause and communicate with your spouse. May the Lord bless you as you meditate upon this topic about communication. Communicate with your spouse. Keep communicating about everything, including nothing. And may the Lord bless you till we meet again next Friday. Same time, same place. The Lord keep you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, our viewers.
Amen.
We appreciate you for creating time. This is Marriage Bliss at Just Connect TV, where we stream live.
Amen.
And even here at Marriage Bliss, we are enriching our marriages. God bless you so much. Every Friday, tune in to your TV, to your screen, through YouTube and also Facebook, whereby we shall meet every Friday from 8 to 9. Thank you so much, and God bless you until we meet again. Thank you.
Just Connect TV, streaming live. Get yourself a high-quality branded hoodie, t-shirt, caps, umbrellas, you name it, we got it. You order, we deliver. Just Connect. Ever felt the need to learn how to play a musical instrument or improve your music skill and never knew where to go? Just Connect School of Music is the place to be. We offer professional training in music sight reading, piano, drums, guitar, saxophone, bass guitar, and vocal training. We are located at Eprin Square, 3rd floor, room 26, opposite Buruburu Police Station. Just Connect, building worship. Just Connect TV, streaming live.